when I'm walking down the street.
I do want to say to Donnie and many of you in this room that over a very long career in this city, all of you have helped me and my colleagues tell the truth and to try to tell.
Get my head up.
I'm from South Carolina, so I just
Look at Donnie.
What does this event mean to you, Miss Peggy Moss?
Oh, my heart.
Happy 20th anniversary.
My heart is about loving up on my sisters. Do you know what it feels like to have your sisters in the room? Donnie.
letting its glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, and dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting its glory shine through. I am beautiful, I am blessed, but not just what you see in the flesh.
The doctor lived next door to the janitor to the reverend, and the lawyer. We were together. Now we've been so high and mighty that you create stress for your society because you don't like poor black folks either. That's a health problem. Get yourself together so I can stop being taking care of geriatric people and get back to pediatrics. I thank you, Donnie, for all you've done. Let's keep doing it for all and more.
I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting its glory shine through. Dare to be you, dare to be me, dare to be different and unique. I'm gonna be the best me I can be by letting its glory shine.
First name's Donnie, last name's Glover. In it to win it for the long haul, baby. What a beautiful day it is. Get out and enjoy some of this great, great weather. So today we're going to talk about a sensitive topic. Or for some of us, it's sensitive. For other people, hey, it's not a topic at all. And even for those, I guess there are people in the middle somewhere. We're going to talk about financial planning. It's a brand new year. February, still newish, 2023. We're going to talk about those finances. We're going to talk about the money. We're going to talk about financial planning. And to help us do that, we have all the way from Pennsylvania, Bernadette Rosas. Good morning.
good morning. Good morning.
How are you today, Bernadette?
I am wonderful.
Hey,
Amen. I am doing great. How are you doing, Donnie?
I'm grateful. I'm grateful. Now I can call you Bernie.
You call me Bernie, Bernadette, B. It's okay.
All right. So Bernadette, for a long time now, you've been talking about financial planning. That's something that's near and dear to your heart. It is a way that you make a living teaching people how to plan. Is that correct?
Correct.
How did you get into this industry?
So mother of three, working 2 jobs, never really even felt, my mindset wasn't like, I wasn't a budgeter. My credit was good when your kids were younger. My kids are 26, 24, and 18 years old now. So when they were younger, my credit was great. I just didn't know how to maintain it. This is something I wasn't taught. So my finances were not good. Even though I had an okay paying job and I worked a part-time job, I just wasn't budgeting correctly. If I couldn't afford it, I didn't take it serious when I called, the PP&L company, my light company, and let them know I'm going to be late, but it's going to be in on this date. I didn't know the outcome of a late payment. So my credit score started dwindling down. And then once it was to where it was at and I wasn't getting approved for anything, I just felt like I was just stuck and I didn't do anything about it. So moving forward, my son, when he started college, and this is years later, because I lived with bad credit for many, many years. I was just paying high interest rates, just double down payments on whatever I needed. That was my way of life, which wasn't good. My son went to college and I got denied a PPP loan, which is a Parent Plus loan for students that, just need financial assistance. And that's when I hit the wall and I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, my son's trying to do better, go to college, and I can't even get him a loan. So that's when I started getting into this industry about understanding credit, because anybody could just few items off. But understanding your finances and budgeting is key to anything.
Okay, now help me out. I need to put up how can people get in touch with you if they have questions? What's your preferred method?
So you can contact me on my social media platforms, which is Facebook, Bernadette Rosas. On Instagram, it's I am Bernadette Rosas. And then for those of you that might use TikTok, it's just at Bernadette Rosas.
Okay, bear with me. I'm almost there.
Okay, no problem.
Okay, we got all of that. Boom, boom. All right, so we're talking about financial. Okay, here's some. So I got some questions for you. Okay, what is the lowest credit score a person can have?
So the lowest credit score a person could have is a 300.
Oh my God, have you ever seen someone with a 300?
I did.
Oh my goodness, what did you think?
So I really didn't think. I'm not a judgmental person. I just know the person needed help, and that's what I'm here to do. So I just basically was getting it, and the person had a 300 because they didn't have any credit. It wasn't because they had credit established or whatnot, had something in their name, and it started dwindling down. I think they might have had student loans. That might have been it. And we just started building. Literally, a secure card is the key.
Secure credit card is the key.
Yes. When you don't have any credit and you want to just build, it's kind of tough sometimes when you don't have good credit and you're going to your banks or your credit unions to apply for one, because sometimes they can deny you for a secure card.
They could deny you from putting money aside to build your credit.
And that's what I was concerned about. So that's just, I went to plenty of banks. I went to Belco. I went to PNC, to Fulton Bank, to BBT. And I was just talking to the managers, asking them, why do people get denied when you're already pulling their credit and it's their money they're putting on a card to help them to build their credit? And they just told me, being it's from a third party, they don't have no handle on it, more or less. So we, and the company I'm a partner with, we do have secure cards that you will get approved for, and the minimum that you can put on there is $100. And our clients get approved for them, and they could just start building from there.
Now, how does one use a prepaid from month to month?
A prepaid, you mean a secure card?
The secure card.
Yes. Okay. So basically, your credit isn't the best. So we always say to keep it under 30% utilization. Okay. So most secure cards, they tell you to start with $200 or $300. Let's just say they're starting with $200. So 30% of $200 is only $60, right? So they cannot spend over $60 each transaction. And we like to use the 15-3 method. So the 15-3 method is any credit card, not only with secure card, any credit card, pay it bi-weekly. So let's say you use your card for gas, or you use it to purchase, I don't know, a TV or something you need for your house, and your bill is like $150. I would say pay that 2 weeks, $75, and then 3 days before it's due. So let's say it's due on the 25th. Pay it on the 21st to balance it off completely. But where people go wrong is they just see that you're getting a bill. Oh, I can pay the minimum of this. That's where the interest accumulates, and that's where our mindsets get to be like, oh, I don't want a credit card, or I don't need a credit card. But you actually do. Like, you need credit to build credit.
So your children now know how to use credit.
Right, exactly.
I remember, Brent, and thank you for letting me, ask such a otherwise personal question. But I remember, the reason I asked is, I remember going to college, very first year, and I got all of these credit card applications. They were everywhere.
Yeah.
And I had no experience.
And we don't.
No experience. Like, what in the world is this Christmas? Let's go shopping was what was on my mind. I saw this leather coat at Lenox Mall. That's down in Atlanta.
I've been there.
We don't teach. It was not a topic in my household. It was mom, dad, and me.
Right.
And I'm thinking about baseball or sports or this or that. But and grew up in a family business, but that was not a conversation that was had.
Right. And it's sad because, then we wonder why, we stay stuck. And what's sad is that we don't educate ourselves either. And that was me. Like, I just kept living my life as a mom, paying bills, going to work, raising my kids. I didn't really get too into it until I started getting denied about certain things. And then I started, researching on how I can fix it myself. And it was a lot. It was a lot to do. We work in 2 jobs with the kids, but we're not taught this. We are not taught this. I think I feel like, these schools, all these years that go by and kids are leaving high school and going to college and, getting in debt. That's something that should be taught before they leave high school.
I'm going to shift gears a second. Is real estate a part of financial planning?
For sure.
How so?
Well, I just feel like, it's an investment. So it's your finances. And once you get into that, you just keep building. And you're planning for your future, for generational wealth. And that's just what it is. Like, real estate is huge on financial planning. And that's one thing that I'm teaching my daughters now, my son, that, they know. My 18-year-olds are already talking about, Mom, I want to have a house by the time I'm 21. My 24-year-old's about to buy a house next year, hopefully, God willing. And
that's huge. That's huge. That's huge.
I didn't think about buying a house when I was their age. I was having babies and working full time and worrying about, what the baby dad's doing outside. It was just a lot. You don't think about certain things when you're not taught or you don't know.
So this is the beginning of the year. Generally, it's February. We're about to go into Valentine's Day. And so for single people who are going to dinner for the first time, say on Valentine's Day and all of that. Now, you said I could ask you anything. When does the credit score come up?
Oh my goodness. So you know what, to be honest.
And how do you have that conversation? By the way, boo, what's your credit score?
It's crazy you say that because we were talking about this last night. We had a couple of business partners that came up from Atlanta and Harrisburg, and it's like, it doesn't come up. I feel like we know once conversation starts to grow, if that makes sense. It's weird on how I conversate with people and it's like, okay, so I could tell maybe certain things aren't in place, but then I always mention, I can help or I can help you to build. But that is key. Like sometimes, once you're ready, it's not fair to say, because what if somebody had great credit when they took me on a date and my credit wasn't good? Is that fair to say that's a deal breaker? You know what I mean?
Yes.
But I am looking just to help people. And if they don't want to help themselves, then that's a different story. If they're looking to help themselves, they want to build and they're doing what they got to do. Like literally, it doesn't take a long time. It took a long time to come up from bad credit. If you can give yourself a whole year just to build your credit and do what you have to do, man, it's a game changer.
Bernadette, I live here in Baltimore.
Okay.
I have seen business owners. Now, this is a real estate question. I've seen and rent mortgage. I've seen business owners say they have a beauty salon and they're renting.
Mm-hmm.
So you go to somebody with some property, the landlady watches you build your salon, and then a year down the road, the landlady increases the rent. She's seeing that you're getting all of these customers in this place that she rented to you that nobody really paid this kind of attention to it before, and they go up on your rent.
Okay.
And the first year it might be subtle because she's just starting to count your money. That's how I put it. Second year, she counting your money a little bit more. The third year, oh, she done counted your money and you gonna pay her. And I say to these business owners who are paying $800, $1,000, $1,200 a month, why don't you just buy a building?
Mm-hmm.
What's your advice on not so much a renter going to a homeowner, but a business owner going from a renter to a commercial property owner?
I think it's a good idea. Like, that was my mindset when I first started getting my credit restored, and my family was like, "What?" Like, I wasn't even thinking about buying a house. My thought was buying a building, buying a unit, multi-duplex, whatever it is, because that's where you want to start building your generational wealth from, your residuals, month to month. And then you can get into your own home and have that established. But as far as a business owner, you know how many business owners I spoke to and their personal credit is not where it needs to be at, and it's hindering them from growing. And they're really, getting great business month to month to month to month. Even if they're renting and they're already established in a business and they're renting that building out, I would say buy that. That's their business. It's theirs. They're not working for nobody. Everything else is going to fall in place, whether it's their house, whether it's, getting out of renting and maybe buying another property. You know what I mean?
Can you tell me your favorite success story?
Oh, wow. There's so many of them. For myself or my clients?
Your choice.
Mine?
Your choice. Up to you.
Okay, I can say mine and a client. So I had a woman who I worked at the CAP office for 15 years as a, home visitor. And it was more like the social work field. And a lot of mothers, they didn't know where to start. They felt stuck. Some of them were home and they weren't working, depending on the man. So this one woman, she just felt like she couldn't get up and get on her feet. She was very down on herself. When I started this, she asked me what it was about, and I let her know. She started in March. I want to say 2018 was? 2018. By August, she was signing into a home. She was buying a house. Now, it wasn't the greatest house, but she was buying her own house. Just by building her credit. The good thing was she worked. She worked. She had her income to show for it. Her credit score went up about 102 points. And literally, she was in a home by August. That was a great success story. And she's still in the house today. And she's looking to sell it. But that was one of, amazing one. I cried. I was happy about that. That was the beginning of me starting this business as well. And for me, to be honest, my success story was when I started getting approved for things. Like, I felt like I had a cushion. I felt like I'm just hitting the surface. And that was when I was, 43. Now I'm telling my age. But when I started getting approved for things, I said to myself, man, this is like, I should have learned this a long time ago.
Amen. Amen.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to transition, and you might not see this one coming, but you can handle it. I imagine as our finances increase, I imagine as a person becomes more aware of their credit score, their self-esteem increases.
Oh my gosh, for sure.
And maybe even their faith.
Mm-hmm.
Can you relate?
For sure. Like, well, I mean, I could relate as to, I don't think I ever had like a low self-esteem, but I felt more confident in being able to apply for things. I felt more confident in myself and things that I could do, like you said, your faith and your belief system. I felt more confident in sharing what I'm doing with others. And sometimes I get customers on here and they don't do what they have to do, and they're going to sit around and say, oh, that doesn't work. Oh, my credit score didn't go up. But they're not doing what they have to do for themselves. You know, things can't be always handed to you on a platter and just drop on your lap and think, boom, your credit score is just going to change. But it definitely builds self-esteem, it builds confidence, and it builds you as a person. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, I always feel like when you could help someone, whether you're helping them in the simplest things, you know, hey, here's a secure card, or hey, do you need a ride somewhere? A conversation, or just anything that you can help somebody with, it's definitely gonna help you.
Well, Bernadette, you know, I'm 57. And one of the things that I have observed you teach and preach is that you're never too old to learn.
That's right.
What does that mean?
That was me. You're never too old to learn. I'm learning from people that are in the 30s. And I'm 47. I just turned 47 last week. So it's
happy belated.
Thank you. I am never too old to learn. People think that when they get older, oh, it's too late. I can't do. Oh, I know. I've been doing this for years. No, you don't know. Things change. Generations change. You know, I've learned so much in the past 3 years that I wish I would. I mean, that could take me 10 years ahead of life if I would have known before.
What's the most student loans a client has had?
Oh, wow. Jesus. That I've dealt with?
Yeah. Well, any story that you've heard of?
Maybe 270 something thousand.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah.
Good God Almighty.
Yeah. And you know, sometimes here's a quick tip for your student loans. They call me and they say, hey, I just have student loans. I want to get them off my credit report because it's hindering me. Sometimes that credit history you have on there, if it's on deferment, if it's on forbearance, whatever it might be, it's helping you. Okay? Because the length of your credit history, the longer you have it, it's so good for your credit score. And even if you never had a credit card or whatever, those student loans might be helping you. So what I would do is just take them and, you know, make them into one, consolidate them into one loan versus having 12 or 13 different types of loans, of student loans out there. Because then when you go to buy a home or you want to buy something, that loan officer sees, okay, she has one student loan here. She's making a payment arrangement for every single month for X amount of dollars. They're not seeing that $250,000 bill. If that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
So that's definitely, I mean, sometimes it helps. Now, if you're just in debt and you're just not paying them loans, you had a payment arrangement and you defaulted, then that's a different story.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you, we got 5 minutes left. I have a very specific but general question. You have often posed the question, what's your plan? What's your 5-year plan? If someone asked me, Donnie, what's your 5-year plan for your personal finances? What should be included in my answer?
You should always make sure that your 5-year plan that you have 6 months of emergency savings saved up. If you could do that, that's going to take you ahead. Like, really, it's going to take you ahead. That's your cushion. You also should just be looking forward to investments. Learn about investments. That's the best thing that I ever learned. People don't get into it because they feel like I don't have the money to put on it. If you're going out here, you're going out to eat, put that money towards an investment. I don't care if it's a stock. I don't care if it's a mutual fund that you might have. Add to your 401k. If you guys are working, your jobs, add to them. People don't add to them because they don't know about them too much and they don't know how much it could bring them. Make sure your 5-year plan that you're planning on getting ahead and figuring out a way that you're going to have generational wealth. Because in this day and time, it's going to get worse. It's going to get worse. And I'm still planning. I'm still working towards my goals, you know?
So here's a question. Going back to Valentine's Day. Say, and this is for single people, and say you are, say somebody is working with you, you're teaching them, and they say, oh, well, Bernie, I met somebody that I like, but I'm not sure that they are financially fit. Like you like going to the gym to be physically fit. And so what are questions that, you know, you're looking at this person, you're considering them for a long-term investment of your time, energy, life, heart, etc.
Right.
What do you want to know about this person?
I want to know what, to be honest, man, what do they have? What do they have going for themselves? Somebody that just works a full-time job, and granted, you can make great money. You know, I met a lot of people that drive trucks that have their own trucking, you know, business, but they're not doing nothing with it. Where do you want to go with it? They're okay with just paying bills and living their life and just continuing to work. I feel like I would want them to be building into something, not just working and paying bills.
And then the last question, and I want to thank you so much for joining us. I know you probably could be at the gym or something because you get up early. Damn, I just lost the question. So we know people can reach you on Facebook, on IG, on TikTok. We talked about.
I'll leave my number. I'll leave my number as well. If they just would text credit or text rebuild or text question, and then give me their full name, I will get on a call with them as well. They could text that to 717-333-3000.
I know what it was. Entrepreneur. They say if it's important, you will remember it. And that's worked for me for years. You are an entrepreneur.
Right.
Why? Why not work a 9 to 5? What wasn't that a shift also? Going from working for someone else to working for yourself. They say if you don't build your dream, somebody will pay you to build theirs.
And you know what's crazy? That wasn't why I became an entrepreneur.
Uh-oh. Breaking news.
Yeah, that wasn't why. Like I didn't come into this like thinking that. But when I came into this, I came into it for my time freedom. You know, my son, basketball player, college, you know, my daughter, diabetes type 2, my middle type 1, I'm sorry. I would be crying at work on the cubicles, and because I couldn't take her to certain doctor's appointments. I had to have my mom take her, and they had to call me from the doctor's office and tell me what to do, what's going on, and I couldn't be part of certain things, and their dad was in their life. So all this led to time freedom. My stress levels were crazy. And then I just said to myself, I'm just going to do it. When I got into this business and my first paycheck was $500 part-time, and I was still working a full-time job, I said, you know what? I'm going to let go of my part-time job, going into this factory every 3 to 4 days a week after my full-time job. I'm letting that go. I let that go. I started getting more into this business. And then finally, my full-time job was getting in the way of this. And then I started seeing what it's like to be an entrepreneur. That's when I started seeing my back against the wall. I'm like throwing punches, like, oh my gosh, what do I do next? It's not difficult. And even now, there's always ups and downs. But do I ever see myself going back to a 9 to 5? No.
Hell no.
If I have to, I will, but I will do everything I can not to.
Why? Why would you fight for it?
Because I'd rather work 80 hours
for myself and my kids and my family and see more of them and be able to do so much with them. That's what's key to me, is my freedom, my time freedom. You know, as an entrepreneur, you have ups and downs. You have good months, you have bad months. This is why budgeting comes in place. This is why savings has to be in place. This is why investments have to be in place. Even if you invest $150 a month, it doesn't matter. Something is going to be something, and you're going to grow from that. And one thing I always tell everybody, don't be scared to fail. That was my biggest learning experience. Every time I failed, it made me stronger. I cried a lot, you know, but it made me feel like, okay, how am I going to reverse this? You know, how am I going to better myself? Because it's me. It's nobody but me. And even if you're married, it's nobody but you. How are you going to be better for yourself? You're still a person. You know what I mean? There are a lot of women on that note who, I mean, maybe it's traditional, cultural, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but any message to women, whether they're single, married, divorced, or what have you, can you speak to the women specifically on, I mean, because, you know, I've seen it, you've seen it, we've seen, you know, the woman is dependent. You mentioned it earlier. She's dependent on the man, but I've also seen, as you have also seen, that women are quite often better managers of money.
Oh, for sure. That's one thing I will say. In this business that I'm in, women really run it, because we are go-getters. We get out there. And even if we have a low self-esteem or if we are introverted, I've met a lot of women that are like that. And they always came in here and said, I don't know people. I don't think I could do this. They're quick to down themselves before they could try it. You know, I would tell you, as a woman, as a mother, you could do anything you put your mind to. Like, I was never computer savvy as far as social media, as far as just even today, downloading this Chrome and trying to get on the, you know, on the podcast. I just read, go into it, and educate yourself. Everybody has the same 24 hours in a day. I can't stand when I hear a woman telling me she don't have time. You have time. Yes, you're going to be tired. Trust me, I have 3 kids. They were in sports. I was running back and forth, 2 jobs, doing this part-time. I know what it's like to be tired. I look tired half the time. You see me, my eyes are probably dark and puffy sometimes, but is it worth it? Yes. You know, I mean, you could look at your husband, you could look at your boyfriend, you could look at whoever and think, okay, they're doing it. We're doing it together. We are one. But you're still a person. You're still your own person. You always want to be better for yourself so you can be better for everybody else.
Bernadette, you have spoken volume 717-333-3000. Text this lady your questions, 717-333-3000. Bernadette Rosas. Text her your information. She's also on Facebook, Bernadette Rosas. I am Bernadette Rosas on IG, and I am Bernadette Rosas on TikTok. You are the bomb, lady.
Thank you. So are you, Donnie. I appreciate you for having me on.
Well, you have preached that in your sermons, that we should help each other's businesses.
For sure.
Good deal. Thank you for joining us. Come back sometime soon. We got to get you on next time. We'll just keep going until we get it.
Yeah, we could go deeper.
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Build credit, whatever it is, we'll do it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, have a great day. Thanks, Donnie.
Yes, ma'am. Have a beautiful day. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So we're going to slide on over to my man, Terrence Dixon, see what he's talking about. I know he know a little bit about financial planning. Unmute yourself, buddy. Hit that mute button down the bottom. Unmute that mic. Chop, chop. Down the bottom in the middle. All the way down the bottom. Hit the mute. You see mute? Everybody's technically challenged. I get it. Hit the microphone, Terrence. Stop laughing. Poor brother. Look at me. Right down the bottom, all the way down the bottom of the screen. You can't see it, huh? Then I guess you had to use sign language, brother. Can you unmute yourself, Terrence? You've been here before. You see down the bottom, do you see the box that says mute stop cam settings? You don't see it. Okay. You've been on this show more than anyone. And I kind of like this, Terrence, that you're muted. I'm enjoying this attack.
There you go. Hey, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday.
Oh,
Chef
Jesus.
T. Terrence Dixon coming at you live and direct from Terra Cafe. Had a little challenge this morning, but it's all right. All right. How's everybody out there? Donnie, where you at? You left me.
No, you were doing just fine. I thought you were going to take the show for a row so I could go get a refill on my coffee. Okay, go ahead.
Go ahead and get right then. I'm going to get it done then. I'm going to give it back to you. I just want to really
okay, do your thing.
Do my thing. All right. Peace, everybody. Chef T. Terrence Dixon. I know a lot of people said they haven't seen us, heard from us, or everything of that nature. We're here. All right. Still been open, still doing awesome business. Matter of fact, that we've gotten the loop back with the live entertainment. All right. Some of the things that's been really popping off real well here at the cafe, and just wanted to really come on and share that with you. We've been rocking out with a awesome open mic. All right. Feel Good Tuesdays. All right. Every Tuesday evening from 8 to 12. It's for the big kids. Whether or not you sing, you dance. Well, I've seen a couple people dance, rap, or you just have that inner spirit that you want to share with people. Come on out. Even if you beat a pot with a spoon, come on out. All right. Have a great time. And it's that opportunity for us to get back to community again. And like tonight is real night. We've been doing this Friday night Big Kids Jam. And it's been sponsored by Sip and Share Paint. Trust. Ship. I'm looking at the painting in the back. Big shout out to Mateus Blue. This is the Freddie Gray. Whenever I see this piece, it just takes all of my attention. But I'm definitely focused on you guys now. Drew with Sip and Share Wines. It's an awesome vegan wine, Black-owned company, right here local. Okay, and I'm very excited to have them in. I've used it for cooking. We've used it for sipping. And come on out, sip a little bit. All right, I got a long list here, Donnie. And then Valentine's Day, we're doing something real special. You know what I mean? As we do this new rebranding with the cafe itself, bringing out some new fresh dishes. We're going to explore some of those on Valentine's Day. Very awesome experience. Dinner for two. Check this out. Dinner for two is only $80. How you going to say no? All right. And if you come by yourself, it's just $50. All right. And the great thing that we know that it's going to be such a great event, just in case you can't get in. All right. It's so nice. We got to do it twice. And we're bringing in Bashir Ashard and a singer, a soulful neo singer, and looking for a great experience there. Oh, still. Donnie, I see you back. You got your coffee, you good?
Yeah, so Terrence, I want to talk to you. We just talked with Bernadette Rosas. She's a financial planner. And I want to shift gears and ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Could you have built what you have if you never went from renting to owning?
You already know the answer, Donnie. You know what I mean? That's the big thing that we do here. And it's not just today. A lot of people are just catching on, and I'm grateful for that. but we've been on the top of the stairs, beating off the drums for over 25 years that we have to have ownership in our community. There's no other way. You know what I mean? Anything other than that, you're sharecropping. So when you, for example, you run a space.
Slow down.
Yeah.
You said, say it again. Anything
other than owning the bricks, you are sharecropping. That means that you put your future in someone else's hand that have the ability to change the narrative of your journey emotionally, not logically. They could just decide, guess what? I don't want to rent to you anymore. You got to go. Or you know what? You had some rough times and I don't want to work anything out. You got to go. You know, the one key thing about when you have ownership, you have control. It is the pathway for us to have that. To me, in my understanding, okay, that's the legacy building that we need to be building right now, okay? Ownership in our community. Something that we're going to teach our kids because it changed the narrative. If you look at it in just from the trauma part, we talk so much about trauma in our community and so many of these things when you talk about financing and you talk about community, it really has to start from self. All right. A lot of times we do, guess what? We elect people to do things for us and it don't get done. All right. It ain't new and it ain't going to fade away. So we need to change our game plan. Okay. That uniting and sharing with each other financial literacy and opportunity to own, it's everything. If you have two different kids, one's in a home that he lives in for 18 years, there are certain things he's going to learn naturally, you know, all right. Just by being in that environment, he's going to learn that he has to save. He's going to learn accountability. He's going to
have a bank account.
Huh?
He or she, they're going to have a bank account.
They're going to learn about a bank account. They're not going to go get money orders from the corner store. All right. They're going to learn about budgets. They're going to learn when it's time for the plumber to get paid, that rainy day fund, that little extra $25 that you put away a week every week. All right. Because I believe in a rainy day fund. You know, guess what?
Let's talk about that bank account. Just something as simple as a bank account. One of the things our previous guests.
You can't do business without it. You can't. No one takes you seriously without it. You have to have a bank account.
So I can say I'm in business for 20 years, but I don't have a business bank account. I'm a joke.
Well, you want to know what, Donnie? You know what? That was a challenge at the beginning of COVID. If you remember one of the articles that they wrote with Bank of America and myself, you know, that even though I did have a bank account, even though I did have a business bank account, even though I put hundreds of thousands of dollars through that account over the period of 10, 15 years, consistent business, not somebody just dropped out the sky. When COVID came, I didn't have the other piece of it. All right. And these are the things that we talk about.
What was the other piece?
I didn't have a banking relationship. I didn't have a business loan. I didn't have a business credit card. Now, here's a person that, you know, I did my stuff. A lot of people know me from Terra Cafe, but I really made my money with the bricks. I made my stuff with real estate. Back when Baltimore was just coming out the gate, as they say. You know, you buy 5 properties, you get 1 free. When Boston Street wasn't even Boston Street. Okay. So I had money going through the account. And here's the crazy part. When you got cash, you never think about credit. Because cash is king. All right. But credit is logistics. Credit is you can actually make plans. All right. That you can extend yourself a little bit further, that you can jump on opportunities. Okay.
So I'm gonna challenge you, Terrence. I'm gonna challenge you.
Okay.
This is not a ho-hum show. This is not a ho-hum show.
Okay.
So I'm gonna hit you right with a body shot.
Come on, I'm ready.
I want you to share one of your success stories of a business that you have worked with, that they've gone from here to there. You've rented space.
You know what?
Multiple businesses in your property. How many businesses are connected to?
I'll tell you what. I've been on this corner for 25 years. Those that don't know me, I'm in the heart of Baltimore City on 25th and St. Paul. It is considered one of the most busiest intersections in the city. Also, like I said, I'm on the corner. It's one of the key things in reference to commercial investment and development. Always get your corners, okay? I have 5 storefronts here. Over the period of being here 25 years, I've helped about maybe 20 or 30 Black businesses go through these stores and really kind of like be awesome, you know? They've had a chance to experience their dream, and we gave them tools. You know, the Black Wall Street, thank you, Donnie. You know what I mean? One of the first things when we opened up was that articles kept coming out. But the one thing that I realized is that I was not new, okay? That this part of Baltimore City, Old Goucher, which has a rocky history. At one point in time, it was one of the most racist areas in the city. You had Old Goucher College, and some of the elders told me they had to run through here, that you couldn't walk through here. You had to run through here like Hamden and some of the other areas, okay? Also, the Terra Cafe, it was known to be the Red Door, all right? Red Door Bar and Grill, which was also labeled like the training ground during the Chitlin Circuit. So when you had folks that were kind of like not comfortable coming in our community, they would still come for the wealth of what we, you know, what we share and what we do. They would come for the awesome food and the great music. But guess what? We could only cook and sing. We couldn't enjoy it. So this was like kind of like the training ground. So for it to come full cycle back around, you know what I mean? That's what's beautiful about history and about life, is that now, guess what? This is a keystone for the Black Wall Street.
I'm glad you said that.
You know what I mean? This is a keystone. This is it. And guess what? It was done. It was here before me, but no one really spoke about it. For the last 30 years or better, all right, as the transition of community, this was the largest concentration of Black business professional, accountants, lawyers. Matter of fact, Baba Robert DeShield and Elijah Cummings had their first office over here on Calvert Street. Did somebody know that? I knew that because he told me. All right. And you know what I mean? So we've had a piece here. The one thing that I've asked for forever and a day, all right, it's like when Black History Month come.
It is right now.
People come out, okay? I've asked for the designation of a couple of things here. I've asked for a Main Street, okay? You have too many micro businesses here. We do not have a Main Street. I've asked for a Black Wall Street for maybe the last 200, 300, 400 mayors that, you know, we need a piece, you know? We need a piece that's called our own. I remember all the way back when we first opened up, there was a conversation about Little Africa, all right? And there was a lot of powerful people in the city, and the space was gonna be where the casino is. And I guess that didn't appeal to a few people, so things happened, and that power was that power was taken down in reference to creating our own space, you know? So that's one of the things that I've always asked for here is the designation of Black Wall Street, not just for the saluting of Terra Cafe and this corner that we've created over the last 20, 25 years, but all those that came before us. And it's real important, you know? It's really, really important.
Terrence, you mentioned Black Wall Street. What is Black Wall Street to you?
Black Wall Street it was my childhood, all right? Because my grandfather owned the business on both sides. My father's mother and my mother's father, they all owned businesses. So I understood of how we could.
What kind of businesses did they own?
My grandfather on my mother's side owned a hog farm and land.
A hog farm.
Yeah, and we don't sell pork in Terra Cafe.
But you grew up selling pork bellies.
Well, I don't know about all
it's
that.
On the stock exchange.
I know I was picking pecans.
Bacon is on the stock exchange. Don't you remember trading places? Eddie Murphy told him, hey, they buy that bacon. People want bacon.
I remember, you know, and then my other grandfather, he was I'm very reflective of him, a jack of all trades and a master of all trades.
Did he make moonshine?
Come on now. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, that's a good answer. See, you were trained correctly. I know an elder and his people made moonshine, and his job was to go take the bag of money to Mr. So-and-so. And when he got back home, his grandmother asked him, did you look in the bag? He said, no, ma'am. And he hadn't. But the next time the bag went, she sent this brother. And he told me that the grandmother was teaching him management. The left hand don't always need to know what the right hand is doing.
Yes.
Because she was gauging character.
Yo, you know what, Donnie? That is such a big word. That is such a big word, and especially in today's time. You know,
Tell me about it. Tell me about it. Tell the world about it.
People in a community that we have to have. You know, time and time again, we find people that just continually grab these seats, and it's like their resume building. It's like they're really not even concerned with community building. It's more so of all the things that really shine on them. You know, we have to change the character of our community. We have to be more accountable. You know, our kids are in trouble right now, and we put them there. You know, remember how they act and what they do is a report card of how we are and what we're doing. Okay. Because guess what? If they know better, Donnie, what's going to happen if they know better?
They do better.
Okay.
I want you to tell me the impact your business has had on the lives of your sons.
Yo, amazing. I mean, you know, I got 3 awesome sons and a beautiful daughter. And I mean, for right now.
My bad. And your daughter.
Come on, man. All right. You know, the thing right now is that I think with our kids is that all of them have a unique story. All of them are a different piece of me. But the one thing that they've been able to get here is they've been able to really get culture. Okay. They understand about business, accountability.
What is culture?
Culture.
I mean, because I hear the rappers trying to talk about the culture, but I think they only talking about a segment of the culture. Because my culture ain't slinging dope. I didn't come from
it's so many different cultures.
I didn't come from a line of heroin sellers. And so when I hear people talking about that's how they made their money, I'm thinking, how many people did you kill in the process?
And see, understands this is that
dope man, the ghetto spokesman.
What you created to be. I know my community is culture.
And I ain't knocking the dope man, but I mean, that's not all of our culture. Harry O. Wilson, he owned he had a black bank right here, and he built Wilson Park. Grandison Hole, up the street from you, up there in Hose Heights, in between Roland Park and Hamden. Mm-hmm. This was an ex-slave that bought property up the street from you.
He owned the bricks.
Morgan Park. So you had Hose Heights, Wilson Park, and Morgan Park, 3 independent black communities right here in Baltimore. And then you also had blacks who lived in Cross Keys in the 1800s. But they would never, you know, we don't learn about these things in the Baltimore City public school system because many of those teachers don't even know.
I mean, well, you know what, Donnie, you can't just pinpoint it there. You got to put a big blanket on that. You don't learn about that in no school systems. You know, the challenge with that is that our kids grow up with no roots, you know? So if you feel as though that we didn't really become people until we were out of slavery, and then if you say, oh, you came from Africa, but you never pinpointed. And then also, you know, as the great thing about technology is our kids really have an opportunity to see what the world is. Not only our kids, our big kids, 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, just kind of figuring their way through. They have the ability to learn and change the narrative of how they act and how they even think also. It might be a little bit more challenging, but what's the great part is we can see the wealth that we have in other countries. You know what I mean? Where we're in motherland.
Is our culture more than sports and entertainment? We get so excited when an athlete scores the most touchdowns. We get so excited when an athlete delivers the knockout blow. We get so excited.
We like to win.
When LeBron scores more points than anyone in history. But what about for the young boy who can't hit a layup? Is that the definition of our culture, sports and entertainment? Walk like a ball player. I mean, what else is our culture? Is being a scientist and an engineer right now? Dr. Tyrone Taborn has at the Gaylord in DC the Black Engineer of the Year Awards, and You know, quite often we say those kids that like science, technology, engineering, and math are geeks.
What?
Geeks. Geeks, a geek.
And weird too. They call me geek and weird. Okay, but look at me now. Look at me now. You feel me? One of the things is this is that, you know, yes, we like to win. One of the things, because guess what?
I want to win at business, baby. I want to win at
we're
business.
always in battle.
Like Reginald F. Lewis, I want to win in business.
We're always in battle, whether or not in business, in life, in relationships, in love, in community. You're always in battle. So to have that little bit of a nuance of a real warrior, of someone in their situation that is dominating, it's encouraging. Okay.
You did work in New York City.
Yeah.
So Nikki, who's one of my producers over at STEM City, USA, made me promise, like I was going to forget, to talk about some Black history. And so I want to know from you, have you ever heard of Philip A. Payton?
No.
You New York, you New York. You said you made your first million in New York City. Didn't you tell me that?
Nah, here in
You told
Baltimore.
me you made your first $1 million in New York.
In Baltimore.
That's what you told me. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Philip A. Payton, for all, especially for my New Yorkers. If you claim you're from New York and you don't know about Weeksville, right, about Seneca Village,
you
don't know about Philip A. Payton, the
that.
next time you see me, I want you to just go sit down some damn way. But Philip Payton was a Black real estate entrepreneur known as the father of Harlem.
Yep.
And you'll never guess his first deal.
What was his first deal, Donnie? Tell me.
He brokered a deal between two white guys who were fighting over properties. He came in the middle. Otis Warren.
Yes.
Got into business collecting rent. That was a family business, collecting mortgage. His father was a property manager. And now he's got that big building down there in Howard Street. So I'm going to shut down and let you plug whatever you got, and I'll come back when you're done. I know we've said a lot here.
We said a lot here. Well, you know what, Donnie, can I do this before you leave, man? Because it always hit better when you're here. You know, I really want to share with people about Terrell Consulting. You know what I mean? The financial literacy really is
a separate invoice. That's a separate invoice.
Hey, bill me, bro. I got you. 30-day net. Don't worry about it. How? Now I'm better than the city. I got you. You know, Cash App.
The city owns everybody. They ain't paying no damn body.
You know, the complex.
They ain't paying nobody black.
The challenge white people too. The challenge is with that. If you give a small business or a micro business an opportunity, one of the things is we don't have that. Back to that conversation again. Remember, we said Bank of America, and I didn't have a business credit line or a business credit card, even though I had some cash. It didn't sync. That's the importance of it. I'm working with somebody right now that they have a great business. All right. They do great things with the school, a lot of printing and everything else. But who can hold on to an invoice for 120 days, 160 days? All right.
Or upward of $11 million. Who can be in business when the city owes you $11 million?
Whoa. What?
$11 million.
$11 million, Donnie.
The city owns a black business $11 million. Right now, today.
Okay.
Well, I told them to kick rocks.
They owe me a couple of dollars too. Not like that though. I would like to have that invoice, Donnie.
No, I don't want the damn invoice. I want to give it back to you.
You want the money.
See, so we going into, and I appreciate you not really going all in because I know you can go in. But next year is a citywide election year. Right now, and I don't want you to go, I don't want you to smack nobody. They were talking just yesterday about selling. The man wants to sell our assets, some of our assets.
You
our
want to know what?
utilities.
That is the biggest problem. I look at the, guess what? When you actually have people in place that really don't have business, all right? If you put it on the wall and you ain't never got no battle scars, you really ain't did shit.
So this is what I want from you, Terrence. I want your right arm. I'm going to come over there today with a surgeon, and we're going to take your right arm.
Why are you going to take my right arm?
Because you say you're willing to sell your underground utilities. So I just want your right arm. You don't need it.
No, I
more.
didn't say I'm selling.
It's mine.
Yo,
It's
bro,
mine.
that doesn't even make any sense, to be honest.
It's mine, and I can do whatever I want with your right arm. That's your underground utilities. I want it. And if you crack slick, I'm going to ask you for your left foot.
I already know.
And that's what we're doing when we sell off our assets.
That's the importance of us really having ownership in this city, because then you speak a different language. All right. And prime example was when they had challenges down in Fells Point, and they stood up as community and they say, listen, we ain't paying you no taxes. We're not paying you no licensing fee. We're not paying you nothing. Guess what? The next day, where they thought that they needed a little bit more of police support, guess what? They had the SWAT teams, the whole force.
I'm going to defend Brandon a little bit, because
I'm not defending Brandon. I'm saying the whole thing.
They were putting him in a squeeze plate. You got to come down here, and he did not.
Then listen, in our community, we need to put him. He needs to be in our community
I'll give him credit.
Okay.
I'll give him credit where credit is due. Shame on
it had to be handled, but guess what? It needs to happen in all communities. It needs to happen in. What about up there by you? We had a conversation. Young lady got shot.
When they shooting 23-year-old girls.
Come on, man. What's up? That's what I'm talking
women,
about.
Maya, and shooting up a
Why
baby.
is it only happening in certain neighborhoods and for certain people? When
Bad
I got robbed at gunpoint, ain't nobody even. They didn't even want to take my police report. When they robbed me at gunpoint and stole my watch, they didn't even want to take my police report. They challenged me. How do you own something like that?
Terrence, I appreciate all you do. How can people get in touch with you? Thank you for staying positive today. I'm very proud of your.
And I like to share
your growth and development. I've taken a lot of time to work with you and work on your messaging.
Thank you so much, Sonny. You've grooming me well, babe. Still a little bit more to go. Still work to be done.
Hell, I remember you on a call with the White House.
Oh, yeah. That was a heavy. And even if $5 million at the beginning of COVID for Black business.
Keep your head up. Keep swinging. Be smart. Say your prayers. Don't smack him too much. What's that list?
No, but you want to know what? Let me share with you. No.
Stay positive.
Baltimore City is in a crisis right now.
Damn, Skippy.
Right? But only thing that I look at is the same way you act in Fells Point, okay? Bolton Hill, all right? Federal Hill, downtown Baltimore. We need that same love up in Park Heights, on the east side, all right? Pennsylvania Avenue.
The Preakness, you would not be coming into my community and I don't get none of the benefits with my businesses. Those Caribbean restaurants surrounding the racetrack that hold that area down all throughout the year should be the #1 beneficiary when the Preakness comes to town, and all of those thousands of intoxicated people come through the neighborhood, skippy and having fun. They be spending money in my community. They be supporting Royal Maroon and Tasty Food and Max's and all of those other Caribbean spots that hold that neighborhood throughout the year. They should be the #1 beneficiary.
That sounds great.
Mr. Mayor from Park Heights.
Thank you. You know what, Donnie? You're awesome, man.
To God be the glory. We got to get up out of here. It's 10:05.
That's what I wanted to tell people about. We got a little Super Bowl party popping off this Sunday. All right. Doors open up at about 6 o'clock. We do the soulful thing on brunch on Sundays now. Come on out. Great menu, great food, great vibe.
You got shrimp and grits?
I got shrimp and grits. Yo, I just grabbed that
What
for a
sets your
sandwich.
shrimp and grits apart from the rest?
Boy. You know what? First thing is I have a lot of organics in it: peppers, onions, the tricolored peppers, the onions, and then also, I do something a little different. I do that turkey bacon. All right, and we kind of smoke it a little bit, Donnie, and we get a little flavor. So after we get everything going, boom. And guess what? The flavor is so intense with the shrimp and grits. Some people put cheese and everything in their grits. We can't.
I think you should start selling a new T-shirt, and I'm gonna get off after this. You ready? It just came to me.
Come on, talk to me.
Free Terra Cafe Jerk Garden. Free Terra Cafe Jerk Garden. Free Terra Cafe Jerk Garden. Set them free. Let them free. Set the captives free. Free Terra Cafe Jerk Garden. Free Terra Cafe Jerk Garden in a T-shirt form, and put it down in City Hall. Mr. Mayor, free Terra Cafe Jerk Garden. They've had this man $200,000 outdoor facility hemmed up for 18 months. It's a goddamn shame.
Nobody else.
It's a black city.
Nobody else, brother.
We should be ashamed of ourselves. Black mayor, black city council president, black comptroller, black governor, black attorney general, black treasurer. What in the hell is going on? What does all of that black stuff mean? Barack, it wasn't supposed to be just about you. It was supposed to be about all of us. Barack, hey, Rock. Power to the people. My name's Donnie Glover. Thank you, Terrence Dixon. Good morning, world.
Thank you. Blessing. Peace, everybody.